Hello, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Melissa with 1S, but you can call me Mel, and today I'm going to be showing you an update of my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. If you saw my video, I think it was almost 4 months ago, and I gave an update, a little bit of progress of it, from me buying it at the nursery to how it was in my home. So I'm actually going to give you another update on how it looks like now, and it's thriving, healthy, and has actually grown double the size. So I'm excited to show you. So stick around. I also wanted to say thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I'm 159 as we speak for this video. So it's exciting to see that people are sticking around. I love it and hope you enjoy today's video. All right, so to start off, I'm going to show you my shorter or not as long Rhaphidophora. So in the last video I showed you I had 2 longer vines. So I'm gonna show you the first one. When I measured it in that video, it was approximately 2 feet. So now I'm gonna measure it to see how much it's grown since that video. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna measure it from the soil, and I'm going to measure it to the last leaf, and it's obviously still continuing to grow. So it is just under 4 feet. So that makes me super happy. It essentially grows half a foot a month, right? So if it's been 4 months since I watched that video and it's grown a couple more feet, essentially half a foot per month. Now, I used to live in an apartment and I just moved into a house. So not a lot of my plants, I would say, were shocked with the transition. If anything, there is a big open window here. It's like a double sliding door just behind you. And it does let in a lot of natural light, which is awesome. And it's south on this side and it's east over there. So it almost receives partially south light, but essentially it is southeast because this wall is east. So hopefully that makes sense. So it's, I don't know, how many feet would you say from the window? Like maybe 6 feet-ish, I would say. So it is getting some nice light throughout the year or the past few months, but now it's winter. So hence why I bought natural or artificial light, because I do want my plants to continue to grow and receive nutrition through light, which is why I bought the Sensi lights. So that could be also a contributor to why it's continued to grow, because I'm not really allowing it to stop or hibernate for the winter because I am providing that light. Also for the soil, I let it dry between waterings, especially now with winter. I always use the moisture meter. I always use it. I just stick it in there, and when it's dry, I water it. I don't assume that it's dry just if I put my finger in there. I just feel it's so much more helpful. And it's also a psychological thing that, okay, I am watering it when it needs to be watered. So I would recommend still using a moisture meter, especially in the transition of seasons, because you're definitely going to change your water routine. So it is thriving. I give it light. I let the soil dry between waterings. The soil's well draining. I do just like a random mix. If you do want to know what the mix is, it is in the other video. So yeah, so I'm excited to see that it has grown double, and it would be interesting if you did watch the other video, if you want to leave a comment down below if you have any questions or if you're just as excited as myself. I have seen some people posting videos on like root rot of their Rhaphidophora, or that the Rhaphidophora is not doing well. By the way, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. You can correct me if I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, so I'm not too sure. Like, it's never been an issue for me, so I'm not too sure what other advice I can give besides using the moisture meter. Give it light if you want it to grow faster, and give it well draining soil. They both are in terracotta pots as well. That's probably something else to consider. I don't use a lot of plastic unless it's like smaller plants like these, but most of my plants are in terracotta. All right, so now we're gonna go to the next vining Rhaphidophora, which is the longer one. All right, so now I'm going to measure my second vining Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. So we'll see how much it's also grown since the last video. So I believe when I watched the video, it was 3 feet. So let's see how much it's grown within the last 4 months. If my cameraman can get a little closer, maybe just take a clip off on the top. Okay, So I'm gonna do this all by myself. Okay. So we're already at 4 feet. We're now at 5 feet. So it is about 5.5, just over 5.5. So that is also, whoa. That is also double the size since the last video. And it's also been doing really well, where just the leaves are getting more green and a lot of fenestrations. Like, can you zoom into this one? Like, how perfect is that leaf? Okay, a little angle up there. Can you see? Or is it too dark? I'll insert a clip of that leaf. It's so beautiful. So at the bottom, the slits were about 3 each. So if you want to take a video picture of this. So there's 3. So a lot of these are 3. And then as it grows higher and taller, it's adding quite a bit of fenestrations. So that's pretty cool. All right. So I actually want to show you how the leaves have progressively changed throughout the last few months. So I'm going to insert a picture here as I'm talking so that you know what I'm referring to. So the first leaf I'm going to show you is a lot lower to the pot, and it has 3 slits. Super cute, very nice, very elegant plant. But of course, as it gets more mature, it is going to provide you with more slits. So I'm going to show you another picture that has one more slit added to it. So I believe it's going to be 4. So that is the more mature leaf. So as you go up more on the vine, you will see one that has 5 or 6 slits on the leaf. And I actually also have a leaf that is more mature and it has a fenestration. So I'm going to put the picture up here, and I was so surprised to see a fenestration on a Rhaphidophora. There's a lot of controversy and just research about how the Rhaphidophora is not part of the Monstera family, but it's just super hard for me to believe. I know that it's tissue cultured and all that jazz, but when the plant shows me something like a fenestration on a plant like this, I'm shocked. On the picture you see how beautiful it is. It's a perfect leaf, nice and green, and the fenestration is very defined, and the slits are very defined. So yeah, so I was super excited to see that, of course, these plants are still doing well in my care. Some other tips, I mean, just try not to overlove them. Like I said, I just wait to see if it gives me some messages, if it's not doing well, if the leaves are kind of sagging a bit, if it needs more water, stuff like that. I do wipe down the leaves occasionally just because it does get dusty, or if there's cobwebs or whatever. I haven't had any pest issues with these plants, which I'm super grateful for, fingers crossed. So never had any issues in that regard. But other than that, it just makes a good staple on my plant wall. As you see, I have a skid on the wall, and then the Rhaphidophoras are just vining on either side. If you didn't watch my video on my home office decor using my plants, I could also insert that at the end. But yeah, so they just make such a great decorative piece. They're easy care plant, or at least for me, in my environment, in my opinion. So leave a comment down below if you have any struggles with this plant. I'll try to help you and provide you with my advice. If you have any tips, leave them down below as well, just to kind of create a conversation if people need help with this plant. But yeah, so thank you so much for stopping by, and again, thank you for the new subscribers. I really appreciate you sticking around, and I'll see you next time.